Judge Penny Wolfgang. Welcome back to The Big Picture. The Erie Canal Bicentennial presents a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to experience the canal that transformed America and to commemorate its influence on New York State and the nation. This will be a year full of incredible celebrations, presentations, musical performances, and momentous journeys. Let's find out all about it. Now, Joan, you have been involved in this project from the very beginning. Just tell us what it means to you and to the state to have this here.
Well, I can tell you that it's really the Governor Kathy Hochul, that has been pushing the canal side and its history and its significance. People have to be reminded that we just didn't happen. It came from somewhere. And in 1825, it was just opened up to possibilities and people coming here with a purpose. And it's exciting to really get into the nitty-gritty of all the history and the participants and the partners that made that happen.
And as far as the whole economic area, do you think it's going to make a big difference?
It is. It is going to make it. It did in that day. It did, because, like they said, Chicago wouldn't happen. Any of these other areas would not have happened. You can drive down Delaware and see all the mansions. That just didn't happen. You know, it was in the beginning of our era of the bustling activity that was going on on our waterfront and in our industry.
It's so wonderful that it's made such a big difference and that we were able to continue this here. And thanks so much to you and all the hard work that you've put in.
Oh, thank you. I've got a great board, let me tell you, and this is just the beginning. The governor asked me to stay on and take this chairmanship because when I was the Western New York director for the governor, we had started many of the waterfront projects, and she wanted them completed yesterday. I mean, our governor wants our waterfront developed, and so many exciting things are happening. And I said to you earlier, in 5 years, you're not going to recognize this waterfront. We're so grateful for our partners. The Wilson Foundation is doing an awesome park in LaSalle Park. You've got to come down and see it. And we're redoing our New York State Park, Harbor Park, next to the marina. And you're going to see a splash pad, you're going to see a sculpture, you're going to see restaurants that we've never had before, including adult swings along the waterfront for us folks. And the newest exciting events that are taking place is possibility cruise ships coming into this area. And the governor just talked about it. So with the new developments and the new Marine Drive apartments coming down and the development of the Sinatra and Penrose apartments, this is going to be something we're going to be so proud of. Just so proud.
We've come a long way, and we can't wait to see the rest. And thank you all so much.
Oh, thank you so much.
Sam, tell us about what this exhibit and the whole waterfront being built up like this means to you.
Well, I'm a board member for the Erie Canal. I'm a director on the board, and this vision coming to fruition is amazing. This canal tugs at my heartstrings. My grandmother was one of 17 kids, all born here on the canal, on LaCroix Street, formerly known as the Hooks, and Dante Place. So there's a great migration of Italians that came to the canal and helped this city grow to what it is today. And when I saw some of the amazing exhibits and the interaction virtually, and I can't wait to see the film. It really struck at my heart, and start sending Mom some photos. She shed a few tears. So nice, yeah.
Did you watch it as it was growing, the whole canal side area?
I am so glad Bass Pro never made it here on this canal, and thanks to Brian Higgins and Tim Kennedy and the Power Authority. I'm a member of Labor's Local 210 too, so I did a lot of work on this downtown, and this means a lot to me. And I've watched it grow from when they started the canal side and nixed Bass Pro's corporate idea. I'm so happy that it's gone, and it's amazing what it has grown into today.
Well, people forget all about that whole era, but I'm so glad too. I think we all are, the way it turned out. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Tell me about what you think is going to happen down here with this new exhibit and everything that's happening in the waterfront for the city and economically.
So our waterfront continues to evolve, and locations like this are a huge part of that. And the beautiful thing about this is it's a great destination, a beautiful destination, but the educational component of it is fantastic. So many people know about the general story of the Erie Canal, but not a lot of the stories behind it, the untold stories, things like that have kind of been forgotten. So this is a great opportunity to bring people down here, enjoy the waterfront, but actually learn something as well. And this spurs additional development. There's some tremendous plans down here for the next few years. Additional development, restaurants, attractions, things like that will continue to pop up. And like you said, all helps the city of Buffalo, whether it's financially on the economic side or gives people a reason to come downtown right here by the waterfront. And so it's a fantastic addition.
I do think the educational part that everyone's been talking about is so important. And, Joan mentioned it, a few people mentioned it, that we should let all of our kids and children and people in other areas know how important the Erie Canal is to the whole state. Was.
Important to Buffalo, important to New York State, important to the country. You heard people talk about today, that waterway, what it did for places, bringing goods and commerce through here to head out west. So it made a lot of other places what they are as well, not just Buffalo, but certainly put Buffalo on the map when it opened up, and made Buffalo like a hub of innovation, a hub of commerce, and at one point the 8th largest city in the country. So it's extremely important part of Buffalo's history, but also of New York State and the rest of the country.
And now I think it's going to be brought to everyone's attention again how important we were and we're going to be.
Yes, absolutely. We're not done, right? Buffalo's got great days ahead of it. We have challenges right now, but it's an opportunity for us to get better. And I think in the near future, you're going to see Buffalo realize its full potential.
Mayor, we're counting on you.
That's all right. We're ready to go.
Tell us what your title and position was as far as management goes.
I led the entire project team for the design and build of this project. Was basically the role of creative director and project director. So overseeing a team of many, many specialists, from content developers and writers, historians, subject matter specialists, as well as graphic designers, physical designers, architects, and then the actual people who built the exhibit, the fabricators and AV integrators.
What an amazing job. What was the concept that you were working with and to begin with?
Yeah, there's kind of two key ideas. One is that this exhibition and these experiences weren't meant to tell the entire story of the canal, but because there's so many locations across the canal's path, there's museums, there's great visitor centers that tell the story of the Erie Canal in a really good way. So we're not trying to duplicate efforts. We're coming to this as almost a trailhead, right? This is the terminus of the canal. This is where the canal's importance really took off and made Buffalo what it is today, made the United States West what it is today. So we're just telling a very broad brushstroke overview, hopefully to get visitors really interested in the Erie Canal's history and to go to lots of other places that tell that story deeper, better in other locations. So that's one. Conceptually, what we're trying to do is tell that very broad brushstroke idea through a series of apertures or portals, these kind of thresholds where history comes to life through the stories of the people who lived the canal. And you'll see that in this space where we're offering like windows to history, literally windows that you peer through. Outside in the exterior, those are expressed as doorways that you walk through. And through each of these lenses or apertures, you're getting a specific point of view and getting a wide range of perspectives that help stitch together this rich history of the canal. and how many lives it affected.
And do you think this is going to be really important for, like, educationally young people and generations to come?
Yes, I mean, I think that was an underlying premise to everything that we did. We really wanted this to appeal to young and old alike and be a place where ideally generations of families could come and understand this history and be excited about what it means for their connection to the canal's legacy and what it means for their future. I think it's all here to really explore and discover.
Then we caught up with Anthony Greco from the Buffalo History Museum to show us the exhibits on display.
This section of the exhibit is what we call networks, and there's so much that happened in Buffalo because of the Erie Canal. So what we do through the postcards that are on this table that people can come up, learn a little bit about the many different things that were brought to Buffalo because of the canal. And so for instance, you've got Jenny Lind, who was a famous opera singer, came here in 1851 and performed as a relief concert, a fundraiser for people who there was a fire in the Canal District. So she came here to raise funds. So all the things we see in this section are kind of the ripples that spread throughout Buffalo due to the Erie Canal, all the things that were brought here directly or indirectly because of the waterway. So in this section, we call this perspectives, and it's spread out through the entire exhibit. And what we wanted to do with this exhibit was really make sure that we're talking about the people that were affected by the canal. So this particular touchscreen focuses on the immigrant experience. So all of our researchers looked into, of course, immigrants were brought here along the Erie Canal, but what did they do when they were here? So we explore their experience through individual stories. So there's people that, what did they do when they got here? Where did they work? Where did they live? And that's what we get into in these sections. You can also pick up a listening device here and hear an historian from Buffalo, Ed Patton, talk about what it was like for immigrants coming here during the mid-19th century. So we don't do this just for the immigrants of Buffalo. We also have a section on the entertainment and vice, the Black experience in Buffalo, how did the canal affect the lives of women, and so on and so forth. So this story of people is really spread out through the entire experience. So where we are now is the section of the exhibit we call Surveying Impact, where through 3 touchscreens that represent the western, central, and eastern portions of the canal, we're able to highlight many of the different engineering accomplishments that happen along the canal, also attractions that exist there today, for example, like the Erie Canal Museum in Syracuse, New York, and countless others across the state. But we also track the history of social movements that moved along the canal in this section. So we have, for example, the canal was really an information superhighway of the day. Newspapers spread along it, news, speakers and things. So we focus on abolition, temperance, religious revivalism, women's suffrage, all the things that, we think about Seneca Falls and how important that was as a town in New York State. Well, the Erie Canal was really the reason that Seneca Falls became Seneca Falls.
If you'd like to find out more, go to this website, eriecanalway.org. I'm Judge Penny Wolfgang. That's all the time we have for this edition of The Big Picture on WBBZ-TV. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next week.